Hey everyone, welcome to my Optimum Health God's Way YouTube channel. Today we'll look at the importance of mental health as equally important as physical and spiritual health. Nearly 1.2 billion of people globally live with a mental health disorder. Anxiety and depression remain the most common, and substance abuse, alcohol, cigarettes, drug use, schizophrenia, bipolar, and suicidal conditions are increasing significantly. Major depressive disorder and anxiety disorder are significant contributors to the global burden of disease. Women experience higher overall rates of anxiety and depression. Men experience higher rates of neurodevelopmental and behavior conditions like ADHD and autism, and are 4 times likely to die by suicide globally. The highest case of mental disorder is observed among youth and young adults, around 15 to 19 year age group. Suicide remains overwhelmingly shocking. Approximately 740 to 770,000 lives annually, equals to 1 death every 43 seconds. When we think of health or well-being of a person, mental, spiritual, and physical health all are equally important, deeply connected or interconnected. That means if one is affected, the others are affected too. For example, poor mental health negatively affects physical conditions, increasing one's risk of chronic disease like heart problems, diabetes, and stroke. The overall health of mental, spiritual, and physical is strongly linked to our happiness and life satisfaction. We pay too much attention on our physical bodies, like fitness and nutrients and exercises and cosmetic surgeries, while ignoring and neglecting our inner lives, that is mental and spiritual. In fact, true wellness is like a 3-legged stool: body, mind, and spirit. Ignoring mental and spiritual health while super focusing on our physical health is like running a race with one heavy leg. We spend hours in the gym or in the park carefully watching and counting the calories and fats, fibers of the diet, yet completely neglect our mental resilience and our spiritual peace that actually keep us standing and strong. What a contradiction to build a strong, resilient body only to let the mind and the spirit crumble or collapse within us. We have taken care of our physical body to function the best and to last long, but we treat our minds like afterthought, as not equally important as our physical body, and our spiritual aspect as an abstract luxury, as a pastime or something to do that is reserved only for people with money, wealth, riches, leisure time, and privilege. Focusing too much on the physical body is like when you go on a cruise. You treat the vessel very well, but you starve the passengers on the cruise. So the body is like the vessel, and the passengers are the mind and the spirit being starved or not well taken care of. What good is a flawless and perfect physical body if the mind is chronically, constantly restless and the spirit feels completely empty? True health isn't measured only by the way you look in the mirror. It is characterized by the balance that is equally taken care of physically, mentally, and spiritually, which affect how you think, feel, believe. Mental health is a state of emotional, psychological, and social well-being, influencing how individuals think, feel, behave, and handle stress. Enables individuals to manage everyday stress, realize their abilities, and live up to their capabilities, learn and work well, and contribute to their community. It is not just the absence of illness, not just surviving, but thriving, coping with daily challenges, and emotional balance, influencing how people think, feel, act at every stage of life. Now let's look at the components or different aspects of mental well-being or mental health. Number 1, emotional. The ability to understand, express, and manage your emotions appropriately, regulate or take control of and express your feelings, and maintaining a generally positive outlook or stay positive. Number 2, psychological. A sense of purpose, finding meaning in life, self-esteem, to know your worth, and the ability to solve problems that involves cognitive functions like thinking, decision making, and memory. Number 3, social. The ability to form healthy, supportive, meaningful relationships and engage in and connect with community and maintain a sense of belonging. It is to feel that you are a part of the community. Number 4, behavioral and physical connection. Mental health directly shapes behavior by telling your body how to process emotions, manage stress, and interact with your environment. When you are healthy mentally, you take care of your diet, sleep, exercise, appearance, and others. When mental well-being declines or mentally not so healthy, there are noticeable changes like social withdrawal, sleep disruptions, changes in your eating habits, difficulty concentrating, may pull away from friends and family, avoid social settings, feel easily or highly irritated, have conflicts in relationships. Due to the depression of mental disorder, it can cause significant fatigue, or you are tired all the time and you lost interest or motivation in the tasks or the hobbies that you used to enjoy, and your stress level increases and you lose your ability in handling your routine problems and activities, often leading to reactions like extreme mood swings, emotional outbursts, suicidal thoughts, substance abuse, and others. Cognitively, you can manifest as confused in your thinking, you are afraid of everything, or you are unable to focus, which directly impacts performance at work or school, and it can cause significant changes in your daily functioning, like you sleep too much or too little, eat too much or too little, and you neglect personal care. You don't care how you look like. In my case, as I was growing up, I was told that I was an adopted child, picked from garbage, covered with ants, crying because of the bites. I felt very much unwanted and unloved. I hated everybody. I even hated God. On top of that, one individual adult in my life called me the worst poop. You see, not even foolish or stupid human, but poop, the worst poop. So I was so negative, pessimistic, didn't want to live, suicidal, boiling mad inside because of my situation, ready to explode any minute. That's how much I was angry at the world, everybody, everything in the world. I would close the door in the room and be alone most of the time. As a child, I withdrew myself, isolated myself, didn't want to participate in any function, any group activity, stressed about everything, no desire to live, no energy, no motivation. How suicidal I was. I would take a knife. I remember I did that a few times, maybe 3 or 4 times, and I would go to the corner of the yard looking at the knife, didn't know where to poke to kill myself. At the same time, I didn't want to end up in the hospital, so I prayed, God help me where to poke. But for some reason, I didn't kill myself because I was afraid that I would end up in the hospital. I remember even during my college years, I prayed, God, I don't want to live anymore, please kill me. And in the morning when I woke up, I was mad at God for not putting me to sleep for good. My repeated thoughts about being unwanted, unloved, being very negative, thinking that I would never be able to change myself. My repeated thoughts about being unwanted, unloved became like an automatic setting or baseline or default in my brain. However, I thank God that according to neuroscience discovery, we can stop negativity by replacing the mind with positive things, which is called neuroplasticity. Paul encouraged us in Philippians 4:8 to think of things only that are true, honest, just, pure, honorable, admirable, excellent, of virtue, of praise. So I started doing that. And in Romans 12 verse 2, the Bible agrees with the neuroscience discovery, which is neuroplasticity. We can be transformed by the renewing of our minds. So if you feel that you are mentally disordered or challenged, don't lose hope. You can start focusing on Philippians 4:8. Claim Romans 12 verse 2. Ask God to help you. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind to restore mental health. Friends, I would like to leave you with 3 John 2. Beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health as your soul prospers. Bye for now. God bless.